Hello guys, something a little bit different. To be honest, I'm filming this quite early, sort of at 8 o'clock in the morning, because I am out this afternoon. I've got a few things to do, and then I'm up to Liverpool for tonight, so I'm obviously awake a little bit earlier. So what I thought we'd do is have a quick recap, go along what's happened this week, and also give some of the new guys a run around the actual main site and the forum, because there's a couple of things that have come up this week we just want to clarify and sort out. So usual thing guys, main bit of the site, if you ever want to find out what's going on, literally just go up to the today page, click into the today page. Okay, this is obviously yesterday's, so I haven't updated it yet, and you'll find out what happened yesterday on the site, and then obviously the builds, the video builds, and all the rest of it, and you can scroll down and go through there. That's your primary window straight into absolutely everything. Now, a couple of things that come up is obviously when you log in, you'll get subscribers area down here. Okay, now this is quite important for members, alright? Live stream video tends to have the last live show. When we say live, I mean totally live, so it's the interactive one where you can communicate with us. So to be honest, this is me and Steve when we did the live one. It's the recording of it now, if you like, from the one we did Saturday morning live. Down the bottom you will also get your forum. It is embedded in, so if you wanted to watch at the same time, I know some of you have said about how do you do both, that's how you do it. So you can then go in here, scroll down to our little section, wherever it is. Where are we? Gallery? No, we must be up a bit. Okay, live section, and that's how you can sort of talk to us at the same time. Okay, because you can come in here like we did for Saturday morning blog. Okay, and you can type in here and watch us at the same time, so you get both come up. Obviously, you know, you don't have to do it that way. If you've got multiple screens, you can do one at the same time as all the other. All right. The other one down here is the members offers. Now this is the important one, guys, because this is where you come to me. Okay, if you go the other way, you go through the sales team, through the store and all the rest of it. If you come through here, this is for members only, don't forget, then obviously you'll get my pricing and not the sales team's pricing. Okay, so this is where you get your discounts. So bottles of wash are a £5, full sets 32 quid, and I don't know what sander sets these days. Sander sets 33 quid, various things like that. Pigment set 29. Alright, so make sure you buy it from there, not from the store, because don't forget that isn't even my company. That's a separate company these days, and you know, obviously that's with them, although obviously there is crossover and various things, and I'll look after you if you've got any problems. Just give me a shout and all the rest of it. Okay, so that's basically down there, so it's quite important to do it down there. Okay, you've got up here your tutorials. Now this is something that got asked this week, because in here you've got all the airbrushing tutorial videos, of which there's quite a lot. I think we worked out there's 47 videos in here covering specifics. Okay, so obviously we've got the one on airbrushing just there, and then we've got the one on basic modeling, and these were all updated last year, so these aren't like the old ones. Okay, sorry, my internet connection is a little bit slow this morning. Okay, and we've got the ones on basic on there. Now these have been added to as well, so we've got polishing canopies down in there and masking up, which is the one that people don't seem to be able to find. There's one there on scribing as well and everything else, but that's your sort of your basics of. Okay, now the thing is, we've also got specific areas as well, so like filling and sanding, you can come in here, and this is where you're going to find all the videos on this. Now, as we know, we do a lot of other ones in the main builds and everything else, but this one is talking about obviously filling down there, filling in there, and we've got making up our special glue that we do. The sanding one, which we did recently, is how to sand, which has proved extremely popular with you all. That's all down in these specific areas. Okay, so you can find specifics all the way down in there. Helpful tips as well is another good one, because what tends to happen with this is where I dump all the little ones that I do. So I might do little standalone videos like this one we did the other week, which was repairing your models when they break, for instance. So we can put it down there. Clear, Smoky Joe in there. Okay, and we've got one about doing wheels and tyres. We've got one about textured paints and spattering and stuff like that. Gun smoke techniques, flat coats and frosting, how to stop it and all the rest of it. Okay, spitting with your airbrush and all stuff like that. So that's where you're going to find those types of things down in the helpful tips section. Okay, so you can go down in through there. We've got one all about metals, new metal paints, finishes and all the rest of it. Various videos down on that one, as you can imagine. Okay, so that talks about all about those. And then down here, this is sort of the generic-y ones where I don't know where to put them, so you'll find them in here as well. But between that, I think there's 47 videos down there in total, and that's how you can do it. The video builds, as you know, they're just over here. And then we've got, I don't know how many we've got now. We must be in the well into the 70s. I know I've done over 100, but obviously we've taken away some of the old ones now. But I've done over 100 full build videos now. And if you want them, like the last one that went up, will be in here. Will be in your Dreamliner. So you just click in there, then you can click on these to play them. We got part 3, part 4, which went up on Wednesday. Okay, and that's how you do it down there. Okay, various things. Kit reviews, okay, is somebody asked me about tools. So if you click over here and you go on tools, then that's where you'll find our tool reviews. So we got things on the airbrushes, the ones we've done recently, Wishy Tape, which is obviously up now or will be by the time you guys get this. That's where you're going to find them, okay? And then what you've actually got though, if you go on like kit reviews, if you want to see our latest video or our latest video that's actually been put up, we'll get on with it. There we go. It will appear here. Okay, so you've got the little subcategories of everybody that's in here, but the last video appears in the little player. So Airfix, for instance, is subcategory. So if you go 1/72nd, you'll get all the kit reviews for the 70-second kits, and then obviously you can do it over here as well. So if you wanted to do, I don't know, let's just have a look at Bandai. Okay, so if you want an onto Bandai, you can then see all the reviews we've done for all the Bandai stuff. And then I don't know, some of them have we've split them up a little bit, others haven't, but we've got book reviews down in here as well. So we've got a couple of books, we've got a couple more to come up, to be honest, and various things. Okay, so that's how that works just down on there. Okay, recent builds, researching all the bits and pieces. This is going to go shortly because these are really old. These are just the old ones that we brought over, but basically it is the old when we used to do it. Literally it was about as you can see, crikey, DVDs. This is just really the old stuff. Okay, the old videos which aren't actually on, or some of them aren't on YouTube even. Okay, and the various bits. Down on here you've got your builds, you've got the obviously the reviews we do. Snap. Okay, so obviously this is talking about the actual Snap one, where he's going on the holiday. Actually no, it's our holiday. Where is Snap? There's Snap. I think this was updated. Snap from last year. I've got to go around and redo these. Okay, and the various bits and pieces like that. Also, you can click on these if you want to go straight to the sales area, and this is obviously the sales team's bit of the site. So usual thing, just go in there, then you click on what you want to do, and it will take you through a couple of videos on the products they do, and obviously on the sales side of it. All right, so there we go. Very straightforward, very easy. Okay, and you can do it just like that. Okay, right. Moving over now to the forum. Now, hopefully I've got this all queued up these days. Okay, usual thing, guys, you want to come in the forum, make sure you use the same name as you log in with. It's really important. Otherwise I get this thing up here called pending approval. Nobody else gets this, just me, but I get in here 4 or 5 every day of newbies who've used a username, okay, or you know, a nickname, things like that. The thing is, the site doesn't recognise you and it won't let you in. It pings me an email and says, you know, Washboard78 wants to join. I don't know who you are. If you've used a different email to your PayPal as well, I have to go on a hunt then and try and find you. You get upset because you can't get in straight away, and that's because you didn't read the terms and conditions where it says, please use your real name, okay? We only use real names here at Flory Models, so you can't hide behind anything. We're all one big happy family, blah, blah, blah. Right, okay, starting off with, in the announcement section, this is pretty important as well, guys, because we need to, everyone seems to be avoiding this, but like Steve has quite correctly pointed out, signature strips, can we keep them small? 6 lines I think is what we want. That's it, it must not exceed 6 lines deep. The whole point of this is this section down here is your signature area. It's kept small. Some people's go on for miles. Not so bad on your PC, but on your phone or your iPad it involves a lot of scrolling. So please remember, it's down in your terms and conditions of using the forum, okay? And it talks about it all down here. So if you're not sure, have a look. But basically it should be like this, okay? So you've got your name, which is quite nice to put your name, because sometimes obviously your name may be a very long one and you want to be known as something else. So, you know, like Philip, obviously I'm Phil. You just put it down there. So I have like Phil, Flory, blah, blah, blah. And then obviously, you know, group builds and SIGs that perhaps you're working on or you're working on, your location, that's quite nice. It's always nice to know what you're working on, what's working on your bench, okay? So that way you can just pop it down in there and do it like that. If you've got a banner and things like that, like these are, obviously Steve's got his team one down here, and obviously he's got the one where he's working on Missouri, then fair enough, okay? Your signatures can also be like this. So obviously Lee's just got Lee, which is quite nice. Alright, and down there. So it's quite nice that Andreas has got his down here, because if you were just looking over here, it might take you a second. Sweden, we all know where he is. Perfect. Well done, guys. That's how it should be. Alright. The other thing we want to mention this week is about where you're putting stuff in the forum. Now, poor Steve spends his entire life shifting your posts out of the modelling chat area in the forum. It tends to be a dumping ground where you just can't be bothered to stick it in a correct area, or you're not quite sure where it goes and all the rest of it. If you're not quite sure, then fair enough, alright, because obviously it is a little bit confusing. It is a large forum, okay, but everything has its section, alright, so don't just keep dumping stuff into modelling chat. When it's something about paint, stick it in the paint section. If it's something about, you know, modelling and tools or various things, stick it in there, okay? Don't just keep dumping it in modelling chat, because Steve has to go around that and put it in. Modelling chat is basically anything where you're not quite sure where it's going to go, okay? But as we know, normally there's lots in it, but poor Steve is starting to pull his hair out, because he is shifting literally 10, 20, 30, 40 posts a day into other areas where they should be. It just makes things flow better. Otherwise, we're just going to end up with a thing called modelling chat, and everything's going to go in one place, and it will be a complete nightmare, okay? So that is the thing with that. As you can see on the forum itself, it's pretty simple. I try and keep it as small as possible. I know some of you guys have asked for different sections and areas, but the trouble is it gets really complicated, and I don't really want it to go anymore. The welcome area at the top, obviously, as you can see, you've got all the things. The today area, it's everything that I do on the site goes in here, basically. Okay, so that is obviously everything, like the today page on the main site is copied over to this one. So if you don't go on the main site, you can see it all here. Okay, so that is down in there. Important information is basically your terms and conditions, all the bits. Announcements, important. That's where things like signature strips have just gone into, and all the rest of it. Okay, prize draws and all the giveaways and the bits and pieces go down in there. You'll introduce yourself. Obviously, if you're a newbie coming in, please say hello. And then some hints and tips about using the forum. Okay, so if you've got problems or anything else like that, can go in there. Okay, anything from the live shows that we do, you want to ask us a question direct, all those things like that, that goes in that section down there. Portfolios we spoke about last week, so you can have your own portfolio, everything else in that, and your workspace. So stick pictures of your man cave up in there, we absolutely love that. Helpful tip videos is basically videos and the various bits and pieces that we put in there, okay? And then we've got the modelling chat, okay? This is what it should be. Keep it modelling related. We don't want to know about everything else that's going on, because this is not what we're about. We're a modelling site. Obviously there is exceptions to that, personal issues, stuff like that. You can pop it down in general chat, okay? So again, make sure that it is basically non-modelling related goes in here, modelling chat goes in there. So if you're not really interested in what's going on, you don't have to ever go in there. Model shows, obviously a usual thing. Forthcoming releases, birthdays and thank yous. The gallery section is obviously we'll be looking at in a moment, goes down in there. Arts, images, films, books, all the rest of it all go in there. Best model kit, so if you've got an opinion on the best model kit that's out at the moment that you're building, chuck it down in there. The help centre, so usual thing, cheapskate corner, that's where we usually find products which are branded and very expensive, and we find what exactly it is and how cheap you can buy it, because it's not branded. Manufacturers and all your addresses, quite important, that one comes in very handy. And then things like, you know, you've got your tutorials, tips, glues and all the rest of it, photo etch, construction, scale lighting and all of that. The paint section and weathering, airbrushing, decaling goes all down in there. Your work in progress, so again, if it's a jet aircraft, prop aircraft, helicopters, all those down in there. Got your armour, so usual thing, modern, cold, World War II, one and dioramas. Maritime, space, civil and all the rest of it going to go down in there. These are all your work in progress ones. Then we've actually got our group build area just down in here. So we've got the current runs running at the moment. So we've got It Must Be an Animal, it's the group build. It's going to go 19th of June. It's the big one. We've currently got 264 entries running on that one. We've got almost 60 completed. Alright, so we've got Dawn of the Tanks and all the rest of it. That got till the 28th of May on that one. We've got 33 builds on the go, 15 completed. And we've got Seeing Double, which is the aircraft dual seat one, 43 on the go, 4 completed. And then obviously you've got your various bits down below. Okay, so that is all down in there. Alright, anyway, on to the nice stuff. Flow. Flow on the go. Remember guys, the donation bit is up now. It's at the top. We're using Mel's email and PayPal system, so it doesn't have to go through the company, because otherwise it gets all complicated with the tax man. So it's going to go direct to Mel, and then she'll pass it on direct to Snap. and everything else like that. Now I've got a list of names and everything, but to be honest, it's on my phone, which isn't here. But thank you to everybody who's donated so far. So far we've raised around about £100 already, so that's great for a couple of days, so well done everyone, and we'll make sure that Flo makes her way to you. So anyway, been with Dave, as you can see, and then went on a little museum visit and went ice hockey, which she's never done before. So yes, I can imagine she's just been belted and he's caught it. Brilliant. But there we go, Flo sitting down and with the team after the match and everything else. Fantastic. And I am so jealous. Look, Flo with a 1:1 scale Xwing. How does she do this thing? So yes, as you can see, Flo is making her way around. Look at that Mark 82 retarded one. Fantastic. Also, just pointing out, guys, as you can see, everyone talks about textures on bombs, but from a scale point, as you can see, don't really get it. So that's a cracking detail photo there of a retarded Mark 82, I think that is. Okay, brilliant one, very nicely done. Flo making her way round, some great photos and everything, guys, well done for that. Okay, so Flo's making her way around the world. As I say, so far she's just around the Colorado area, she's going around the members like that, but she is going to go everywhere. So if you want to see her or you want to have her with you, we want to get her into as many places that normally you can't go. So if your employment or job, we can get her in somewhere where normally the public can't go. That'd be brilliant. But what I'd love to see her is things like, as you say, love this type of thing where with the ice hockey team and stuff like that, and various landmarks as well. So we get Flo around. But so we've raised £100 already this week, so well done to everybody like that. As I say, if we just pop up here, that's when she was up, she's flying with Heidi and everything else. So your work, we've actually got, I've queued this up this week, so we look pretty good. David has done a beautiful F-15C. This is, I believe, the Haskell kit, 1/48 scale. A couple of extras. We've used the Aries burner cans, which you sort of have to do with this one because it's one of those things that really stands out. And I think it has the turkey feathers, where obviously it doesn't have the turkey feathers. Depends which version of this particular kit you get. But again, very nicely done. Very cool. It's got the Iraqi kill markings on there as well. Nicely done, nicely weathered, and there's those all-important burner cans, which are such a good upgrade on this particular kit. But he's done a nice job on that. Nice job on that decor on the corner, because that is always the bugbear with us all. Anybody who's built this kit will know it, trying to get that conforming to bend around without splitting. Okay, so nice metal work on the underside as well. A beautiful straight gear, that's just posing really. Okay, some very nice stuff on that. Beautifully done. It's a lovely looking aircraft, let's face it, but it has done a great job on that one. So well done there. Next up, we've got a little bit of a diorama, which I actually really liked. So this is Jerry's one. As I say, this one is the Edar Profi Pack I-16. Okay, and if I remember right, it's the Tamiya truck. A couple of Edard figures. Okay, it's a clay base with grass. Okay, so he's done a great job on this one. As you can see, really nice. Again, it's something where, you know, you can take a nice simple idea and you can just go with it and play with it and all the rest. Very nicely done. Complete with bullet holes even and all the rest of it. Fantastic. But to say, it's really nice, and it's all the little things, you know, take your eye off the actual aircraft and looking around at the figures and on the truck and everything else like that. Nice bend on the props as well. Very nicely done. And it's nice to get lots of photos now, guys. Remember, I know a lot of you just stick 4 up, because you know in the old days I used to take 4 and usually pick 2. So it's nice to get all the detailed ones, because we can show them now, as you can see, all the way around. Nice work on the actual wiper blade marks, and where he's obviously rubbed it to see through. Lovely little touches like that. Okay, very nicely done. And this is obviously 1/48 scale, I should say. Okay, but you say beautiful photos right the way around. In fact, hundreds of photos. Okay, up next we've actually got something really straightforward, 1/48 scale, and I still maintain this is one of the nicest kits out there. This is the Airfix BF109N4. Okay, I built this kit for a magazine actually many years ago now, but we did that for Airfix magazine when it first started. And again, it's one of those things where it's such a straightforward kit, it goes together. If you're coming into the hobby, things like that, grab this kit. You know, let's face it, a certain Adam Raw bought a few, if I remember rightly. So he's well and truly sorted for them. But again, it's a nice kit, it's a very straightforward kit. and you can then play with it in different ways. So you can use it for like a training tool, if you like, for airbrushing, because obviously down here we've got the splinter camo, and then you could actually, if you wanted to, add the mottling and the various bits in there, even in the smaller scales like 48. But I still maintain, if the kids coming into the hobby, things like that, these are fantastic kits for them to do it, you know, to start out with. And we got a nice build thread as well, which is a fantastic thing to see. So I tell you what, because we like these, and I've obviously been in here looking, as you can see, very nice to see all that little extra work that goes in. Okay, and this is what it's all about, guys. It's sharing, people can see, people can follow along, and all the rest of it. So great work on that. Okay, I love this one purely because of the contrast between the yellow and the actual, you know, the metal finish on this one as well. Okay, so this is Adrian's. He's done a fantastic job on the Great Wall Hobbies Devastator. So this is the TBD one. Okay, again, really nice. But it was just that contrast with the yellow and the actual metal finish on it, and it's one of those things, catching it in the light, you get the best out of the metal work. That's why I maintain perhaps photographing these outside really does work very nicely, because it's natural light reflecting off, and this is what we're talking about. As you can see, the yellow now pops, comes alive, so does the interior green and all the metal work, which you don't see when it's inside, but you can see now, beautiful light reflecting off it. And it has that natural metal look, so much better. So if you can, my little tip for photographing metal finishes, try and do them in daylight on a nice sunny day. So that is great. Well done, Adrian, on that one. Something a little bit different, Ralph. He is such a busy modeler, as our Ralph. Okay, so this is the Tamiya, excuse me, 1/48 scale, straight out of the box. So we've got the actual doodlebug, okay, and the Meteor doing the wing flip job. Pushing them over and all the rest of it. I used to be told by my nan, who used to stand at the bottom of her garden watching these come over, because they lived in Kent, and you know, watching these things fly in and all the rest of it. Beautiful job, nice little base, something simple. We're saying with the brass rod straight up, straight in on both models, gives it a very nice touch. And with this open engine, I think the detail's just a little bit lacking on those particular, you know, with the Tamiya ones. Obviously it's an older kit, you know, I don't know if anyone does a resin replacement engine on those, but very nicely done. This one was around last week and I missed it, which I was really annoyed with myself, because I saw it afterwards and it was like, right, that's fantastic. But Mika's done lovely in flight, nice acrylic one. This is the finish Draken. Okay, beautiful job on this one, nice to see it in flight. Very nice job on the underside, and this is the thing I love about the Draken, and I built a few of them now. I actually did quite a few for commissions years ago, but I love the way you go from this metal, natural metal finish underneath, the intakes and the actual fuel tanks mixed in with the grime and the flatness of the grey on the underside. It's a beautiful contrast with these things. And little touches I like is the old pitot on the front tube, getting the barring in there with the striping and everything else like that. Really, really nice. The only thing, quick suggestion you want to do maybe, is when you get your decals, put a dead flat finish over them, then stick the wash on. That way the grime, and it'll just knock these back. Or the other way, take a little bit of pastel or pigment dust, give them a scrub, and just blend them in a little bit. Okay? And that'll just knock the edge off of them a bit. The thing is, they're a little bit thick on these decals. While saying, if you put a dead flat coat right the way over this area, you won't get the ring mark from the carrier film around them, and it'll knock that back. But generally, I have to say, that is a stonker. Very nice. It's not the easiest kit to work with, purely because you need to sand and fill all and blend everything in. Beautiful job, lovely work on the canopy, so we've got no marks around the canopy and all those things. Very nice. The way the decals blend seamlessly in as well, that's fantastic. And again, it's a striking aircraft. It's a lovely aircraft and poses very nicely. But great job all round on that one. Nice photos as well, very nice clear photos. So well done, Mika, that is a favourite. Okay, into the armour. Not much armour this week, if we're honest, guys. Timothy's done a great job on a striker, or Tim, from Toronto. Great job on this one. As I say, it's one of those things, strikers, they're usually just green. It's very hard to know how to weather them, but I think he nailed this one quite well, because we've got nice thing, a fading, different colours going on and all the rest of it, and the bits and pieces, with the weathering as well working very nicely. So it's collecting in all the cracks, lumps, bumps and all the areas you would expect. Obviously nice job on the wheels, on the sides and flicking it up, but all of this storage gear and everything else on the side of it, the bars and all the rest of it, it just seems to blend in very nicely. The way that it's weathered in as well, you know, with the clear bits showing through as if it's got scrapes and lumps and that off of the side, is very nicely done. So well done for that one, that's fantastic. Next bit of armour we've got up, Ian. Very nice to see the mine plough, and what I loved about this one is the contrast with the colours. Okay, so he's taken what is the standard sort of green, and then obviously it would have been as is bolted on. These things aren't always going to be the same colour and exactly the same as the tank. So not only did he do a great job right the way through, you've actually got the green of everything leaching through and coming through on this one. Okay, as it makes its way through. Very nicely done. Nice to see the contrast with the colours, with the green and everything else. Okay, but generally you see the weathering, the pigments and everything working very nicely on the mine roller, and then obviously with the anti-slip surface right the way through, catching texture. Again, very nicely done, as you can see, and the way he's got a little bit of metalwork showing through as well, you know, where it's been sanded back, then gets wet. A little bit of corrosion on this one coming through, the rusty bits coming in. Obviously an old warhorse could do with going back for maintenance and a repaint. But very nicely on the little rusting techniques and the various bits on this one all the way through. As you can see, very nice, clear, clean photos, but it was just the way the green pops with the actual, you know, the sand and the worn down and everything else like that. It looks like an old workhorse, or workhorse. Some words you just can't say when you think about them too much. And again, old and new. So as you can see, we've got the, I've got a thing, isn't it? M60, isn't it? And right the way over, mine plough system with the blade. Very nicely done on that one. We've got time for another couple. Okay, Sergio, brilliant. This monkey bike, which I assume is Tamiya. Oh no, a Shumia one. I must admit, because Tamiya do it as well, and I have built the Tamiya one a long time ago. Beautiful job on this one. Something small, compact, funky, fun, and everything else like that. Very nice. I love the way you photographed it on a jar lid as well. That just works perfectly well. Really, really nice. Something a little bit different, but beautiful paintwork with the metallic down on the actual fuel tank, the forks and things like that. But this up here, you know, around the actual seat and everything else, to me, it looks like, you know, plethora or leather, whichever it is on these. Very nicely done. Something a little bit different there. And I think we maybe second to last one we got today. We've got lovely Bandai, something different as well. Caught my eye on this one is in green. So you don't normally see them. So this is the Resistance Fighter, which is the later variant of the X or the T65, and everything else that has a different wing configuration, slightly slimmer, and all the other bits that go with it. Again, very nicely done. Be nice to see some more photos, but lovely to see it in the green instead of the standard reds or Pose one and all the bits and pieces. So really nice job on that one. Okay, and last up on the Xwing, T70, or is it T65? Oh no, this is T70, Resistance Fighter. Okay, something a little bit different. This is the metal nightmare photo etch one. Beautiful job on this one. This really took my eye purely because it is very nicely done. Some of them you see them, you can like the lumps and bumps on them and you're like, oof. But this one, absolute stonker. Okay, very nicely done. Very complex, very time consuming, and well done on that one. You did a fantastic job. Really, really nice. Beautiful photos all the way through, and something to be really proud of. So there we go. That is about it for this week, guys. Thank you for joining us and going around the site and everything else. Thank you for all your feedback this week. If we can just make sure we don't use the old general chat as a dumping ground, please. And if you can make sure your signature strips are all done, that would be absolutely fantastic. I'll be back with you on Monday. Tuesday we've got the Q&A. Hopefully I'll get Steve in with me on that one. And then next Saturday morning, I hope you'll join us for Saturday Morning Live. That's not this Saturday, next Saturday, where me and Steve will be carrying on with our Coast Guard Dolphin helicopters. And we'll be building along, so you can join in with us on that one live in the morning, and then we'll think about changing the time zone over to perhaps US or wherever, and we can go around with that one. So there we go, guys. Thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you all next week.